So you need to go to ALB. See, this one's a workbook right there.
Oh, because you can have the workbook along with the DVD.
512 ALB.
So it's 30 lessons on 6 discs.
Maybe they lost the workbook. Oh, wait. There we go.
Yeah, Algebra 1 workbook.
Oh, cool. Man, this thing's old. An overview.
Exploring algebra. This would be cool. I'd like to watch this with you. I'd like to get some, like a refreshing my algebra.
What? 1997.
It's 1997 algebra. Should be about the same though.
How do you say that? How? Pick numbers and counters, square root of 2. Be careful.
Pythagoras.
Yeah.
It's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's Pythagoras theorem. It's the Pythagoras theorem. It goes back to Greek. It's how it has to do with triangles and the right angle and the triangle. You're measuring.
That'd be geometry.
It's related to geometry.
Oh, is it?
Algebra. Well, it can be used with geometry, alongside geometry. The Wolfman, the real Wolfman. It's a history thing. Hey, sweetie.
Hold on.
Would you rent this for me?
Yes.
Okay.
It looks like a lot of this. You need the.
I want to watch
the
this.
calculator.
It's a history channel about the Wolfman.
Right. Linear function, f(x) equals x plus b. I think that's where you need the graphing sheets. Y equals ax plus b.
That's the variable.
B is the y coordinate.
You have to figure out.
Yeah.
Like they usually give you like a paragraph, and then you implant the numbers there and do basic math.
Not a paragraph.
Yeah, when you take the test, they give you a paragraph.
What's a paragraph to you?
Well, the paragraph has numbers and ideas in it.
You're talking about like the train ones?
No, I'm talking about whenever you take the test, eventually it'll have like a paragraph where you fill in basically the numbers and the variables.
I'm trying to remember.
Anyway, it's kind of a long story. This is the Wolfman. In the mid-1700s, a mysterious beast viciously attacked and killed 102 villagers in the French village. Found something interesting. So it's the mid-1700s. A mysterious beast viciously attacked and killed 102 villagers in the French village. Of Givaudan.
I take algebra. I wonder if it's... Okay, we'll just get this.
So mid-1700s, a mysterious beast viciously attacked and killed 102 villagers in the French village of Givaudan. The victims, mostly women and children, were mauled and decapitated, their naked bodies all bearing the savage bite marks of a non-human creature. The killings marked the largest numbers of alleged werewolf attacks in history and are the contributors to the Hollywood Wolfman legend, which are deep into the mythology and folklore of werewolves. Renowned cryptozoologist Ken Gerhardt and veteran criminal profiler George Doucher, as they investigate the reviled creature believed to brutally kill when the moon is full. Their investigation includes intriguing paranormal transformation, diseases that make men look and act like animals, and strange but true stories of children raised by wolves. What they uncover in the dark side of human nature is a horrific truth behind the Givaudan werewolf attacks and the Wolfman within us all. This might be a good one. I wrote Grace, aka Werevlog, really with no research. Like I just riffed off memory. So this might be cool to kind of look at. French. Parlez-vous français? Oui, oui, monsieur.
Je m'appelle Linda. Et toi?
À toi. Let's check out some French. I know they say excusez. They say excusez. Merci. They say merci for
Merci.
please. But they do.
Not peekaboo. Beaucoup. That means like good, but
But I'm saying like, they don't always use all French language in France. They'll say excusez for excuse me to like an English person.
Here's a
They say
German.
excusez.
Oh, okay.
Excusez.
Oh, this would be cool. At least 20 minutes.
Okay.
Give it a shot.
We'll come back and do everyday German. Sie sprechen Deutsch nicht so gut. This would be good too. Dictionary for the New Testament background and Old Testament. Right here. The dictionaries. I want to check this out because there's a myth that I'm going off on my werewolf myth that goes back to Greek times. I'm gonna check this out for a minute. Looks like they have a room that you can go into right here. Maybe the light's over here. Maybe it has a sink. Nope. The light doesn't seem. There it goes. Guess if you need to use the sink, I don't know. Oh, it's for emergency eye wash. Okay, the son of Palescus is involved in the Greek myth of the werewolf. It goes back that far. Palescus is his name, so it would be under P. This is already in C right here. See if it even comes up. It may not even be in this book. Palescus is the name. I do mention it, I think. I mentioned the etymology of lycanthropy. I kept it kind of simple, though. Nope. Nope, it's not in here, I don't think. Palescus would be the son of, I think, a king, but it's not in here. I'm gonna look at the other one. The next thing is Lycaon. He was a king, the son, I believe, of Palescus. So, P. I don't know if that word would be in there too. I don't know what this is. Monsters, yes. Prodigies and hybrid creatures. Very big in the Greek myth. They'd be under L. There's Medusa. Nope, it's not listed. It's a missing part of this book. It's Lycaon, I believe. It might be here. It's actually Lycaon. Ly. Nope, it's not. But I think it's pronounced Lanchian, or Lycius. It basically is the etymology of lycanthropy, which is the werewolf. But it's not listed under the monster section of this book. But it could be under a different section. There's Electra right there. Here's a kind of this is the house of Oedipus right here. Interesting. It's not listed here either. He angered Zeus. Go back through here. Poseidon is right there. Here's the nymphs. I do mention Pan. So Pan is in there. Yeah, here's Pan. Do talk about Pan in Grace. Pan was a god of the goat herds and shepherds, and his home was said to have been a mountainous region, forests and pastures of Arcadia. His name was derived from the root pa, designating guardianship of flocks, a root that is evident also in the Latin word pastor or shepherd. Originally Arcadian deity, his worship spread to other parts of Greece, cult sites sacred to him having found Delphi and Athens, for example. Accounts of his parentage were various. This rustic god was called the son of god of Hermes and Dryope, and Zeus with Penelope, the wife of Odysseus, among others. Odysseus. Pan was represented as being a hybrid appearance, having the body and arms of a human, but the head and legs and tail of the goat, which is what happens to Rainy Love in it in the end. And the so-called Homeric hymn in his honor, in which he is the son of Dryope and Hermes, he is described as being a wonder to behold, having cloven hooves and horns, as well as being nosy to prone to laughter. When his mother saw his face and beard, she reputedly ran away in fear, so Hermes brought him to Mount Olympus, wrapped in rabbit skins, and all the gods, especially Dionysus, were delighted, thereafter calling him Pan, which is here falsely linked to the word for everyone, maybe another word for actor. In his rural haunts, Pan kept the company of nymphs and satyrs, who were hybrid creatures like himself, thus being himself absorbed into the entourage of the god Dionysus. Pan's instrument of choice was the reed pipe, which the Roman poet Ovid describes as his invention. Pan became enamored of the nymph called Syrinx, and when in order to escape his advance, she became a clump of reeds. He fashioned a pipe from them. When pipes in hand, he later challenged the god Apollo to a music contest. The Phrygian king Metis declared him the winner and was punished by Apollo. His choice by growing an ass's ears, hence werewolf. Possibly it goes back to Pan. But I wanted to see Lycion, to see if they even mention him. This is a basic book. Who knows what level? Probably maybe high school and college. It's being printed in China. Let's see. Interesting. Epicurean philosophy. Okay, so I looked on the back of this book. I did find it. This book here. And it's right here on page 107. So the next one is on 209. So first let's look at 107. This is called the index. So we'll try to 107. This is the first mention of Lycion or Lycion. It comes from, or lycanthropy comes from it. I'll read this page and see if I can find it. Zeus to see how it's related to lycanthropy. One thing I found that's a little on a side note is Zeus had children himself. One fathered from his head, which was Athena, the other from the thigh, which was Dionysus. So throughout Greek mythology, there's a lot of shape-shifting going on constantly. Zeus one time turned himself into a swan. If I'm not mistaken, Rainey mentions an angel in her poem. It's supposed to be like a cheesy poem. I wonder if she may be talking about the swans.
I didn't really get a...
So you're reading Lucille Ball?
Yeah, this is the one they haven't stopped. They had it at the other library, but I didn't read it all. This is the one talking about her when she was 40 and pregnant.
She's reading a book about movie stars, and I'm reading an encyclopedia, Greek mythology. Found something really important about
She was 2 weeks every
Lycium. I believe it's Lycium. I'm going to look up the pronunciation of that. Lycaon. Lycaon is the name of the evil king. Here it is. I just looked up the pronunciation. It's Lycaon. Lycaon. As in to say lie, and then Cain. Lycaon. Anyway, Zeus had a wrath. Still studying where the wrath came from. But there were certain characters of Greek mythology that incurred his wrath, including the second generation of Titan Prometheus, Lycaon, and the entire human race of iron, as the current wicked race of mortals was known. So the wrath came from Zeus, and it entered into Lycaon. So Lycaon had a son named Nyctimus, and he cooked him, basically killed him, and fed him to Zeus to see if Zeus would recognize that he was a human. And Zeus did, and got very mad at Lycaon, who was the king of Arcadia. Lycaon is the king of Arcadia. So he incurred his wrath and turned him into a wolf, and all of his children were turned to wolf, I think, or into wolves. That's one of the myths. Also, now since Lycaon killed his, he killed his offspring, and then he fed them to Zeus. Nyctimus was one of his offspring that he fed to Zeus, and since it made Zeus mad, he turned Lycaon into a wolf, and then wiped out his offspring. So he was basically turned into like a werewolf. That's where lycanthropy comes from, or lycanthropy. There's different ways to pronounce it. But anyway, Zeus basically incurred his wrath into him. So it was not just a wolf, but it was a wolf with a tremendous amount of anger. And this is part of the original werewolf myth. This is the evil king, Lycaon, was transformed into a wolf as a consequence of his bestial behavior, and humankind, which Zeus had determined to be utterly evil, was extinguished by a great flood apart from the devout Deucalion and Pyrrha. This is very interesting.